Hey everybody, Doug Rucker here with DougRuckerSchool.com and DougRuckerStore.com. Hey, I'm continuing my series today on this 4 gallon per minute hurricane pressure washer. Great unit for just starting out, but today I'm going to be talking about the surface cleaner that I like to use with it. There's all kinds of options out there, but I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Whisper Wash Ultra 16-inch surface cleaner and a few tips and tricks and things you may need to know if you happen to decide to go with the system. So stay tuned for that next.
So when you're picking out a surface cleaner for your pressure washer, there's a few things you've got to make sure of. One, it's the right size. Two, you've got the right nozzles. And then there's a couple other little personal preference adjustments that you can make or changes, which I'll show one of those here in a little while. But this is going to be kind of a little bit shorter video, I hope, to just give you some basic things. So this is a 4 gallon per minute machine. Standard industry procedures are that for every 4 gallon per minute that your machine is, you need 4 inches of surface cleaner. So if you've got 4 gallon per minute, you multiply that by 4, that gives you 16 inch. So you could go 16, 19, 18, 17, whatever, somewhere in that area. 5 gallon per minute, multiply that by 4, and you're going to get 20. So 19, 20. I've even on our 5 gallon per minutes have used a 24-inch little big guy. Sometimes what you have to do though is you just have to adjust your nozzle size to compensate or overcompensate or whatever for the size of the deck that you're using, and that's the deck right there is that top part. And this is the 16-inch surface cleaner Whisper Wash Ultra. I've loved this little surface cleaner, especially hooked up to the 4 gallon per minute machine that I'm going to be using. But I want to show you a couple of things here in a second, some basic things that you just need to be aware of and stay on top of when you're purchasing a new machine and a new surface cleaner. And then, of course, once you get it, to make sure that you're cleaning properly, you're cleaning safely, and not damaging concrete. And so the first thing that you want to do when you get your surface cleaner is match it up or hook it up to your pressure washer. This looks cool and everything. I've seen guys do videos of these and they say put a brick on it or put a weight on it. And that will definitely keep that holding down. But you don't want that coming up off the concrete like that. That's just way too much pressure and can cause damage to concrete. So I'm going to talk to you a minute here about how to correct that. So the Whisper Wash, this 16-inch, and most of your Whisper Wash products, surface cleaners, are going to come with the nozzles in them, and they're usually going to be a 2502. And so that 25 indicates your spray pattern, the angle. That 02 indicates the gallon per minute that it's going to put out. So if you go by the 02, 2 nozzles, 2 times 2 equals 4, gets you to your 4 gallon per minute. So that should be, the right size for this machine. However, as you could tell in that video, it just kind of elevates up off the ground, and you don't want that. So what I actually had to do was switch the nozzles. I actually went from 2502 and then I went to 25025, and it was still lifting a little bit. And then I went to the 2503s, and that's what got it under control. And so that's just, it's always good when you get a surface cleaner to get the nozzle that's required for it. I like to get some that are below that, and then also get a couple sizes that are just above it. So if it comes with 2502 or calls for 2502, then you want to always get 25025, 25030. You may even want 25035 because depending on how hard the surface is or what your surface cleaning, a pool deck or smoother concrete versus real porous concrete, you may need to adjust your nozzle sizes so that you're using the right amount of pressure and not using too much pressure on your on the surface that you're cleaning. So it just remember, it's not always just one size fits and you just start cleaning everything. You've got to sometimes adjust your nozzle size to what you're cleaning. Now the nozzle on the right is what they came with, and that little figure 8 you see in there, those are uh, diffusers or water separator. What those are supposed, it's a little piece of metal in there that are supposed to help straighten out the stream of the water. I don't like those things. I take them out. Um, you can grab some needle nose and rip those things out of there, or like on the left, the nozzles that we sell don't have those in them. So I just got the correct nozzles, the nozzles that I like, and put them in there, the 2503s, and takes care of that little piece of metal in there. I just never seen the need. I think the only thing it really does is sometimes help it clog a little bit. So I just always remove them. So once you've done your test with your different nozzles and kind of honed in, this is kind of what it should look like. It just kind of glides nice and easy over the concrete. It does a great job of cleaning, but it's not overpowering the concrete. It's cleaning the concrete, and it's doing way less etching um, of the concrete while you're cleaning. It should be very nice and easy to control. Um, and that's kind of what you want. So it's just a matter of honing in, getting the right nozzles and the surface cleaner for the surface that you're cleaning. One of the nice things about these Whisper Wash surface cleaners is out of the swivel, they have a 3/8 quick connect fitting, which you could take your ball valve like I'm doing, and I'm force feeding this pressure washer now. It's not gravity fed. And so with the machine off, it's still going to push water, and I can actually check my nozzles if I need to make sure the angle is correct and that there's no blockage or nothing, no sand or grit got anything into it that's blocking the nozzle. So very important to always check those. This is a General Pump brand surface cleaner, and so it does not have the 3/8 coupler fitting at the top, but you can still, as long as you're force feeding, you don't want to do this if you're gravity feeding. So as long as you're force feeding and the water's coming through the pressure washer, that's what you want to do, is check your nozzles, make sure the angle of your spray is not being impeded at all. It's very common to get a little piece of dirt or sand or something, a little piece of grit in there, and can clog those nozzles. So that can cause the striping and just irregular cleaning. So you want to make sure that you're checking those. Another thing that I do, and this is really a personal preference thing, is just about every surface cleaner, I eliminate the gun and just put a quick connect fitting so that I can just hook my ball valve straight up to um, the surface cleaner. So eliminating the gun, I just feel like it causes me to get more flow, eliminate some of that restriction that's caused by the gun. That's a little 1/4 inch threaded bushing that's coming off of their coupler. And so it's very easy to take that gun off, and using a 3/8 to 1/4 inch uh, bushing or coupling or whatever you want to call it, you can easily just put one of your coupler or your plug fitting, whichever you use, coming off of the surface cleaner, and just put your ball valve in and operate the surface cleaner just by turning the ball valve on and off. Hey, do me a favor, if you're getting value out of this and enjoying this and it's helping you, please make sure you give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe to the channel so that you can get notifications when I come out with educational information like this. I always enjoy helping you new guys getting started in this business. And so just hit that like, hit that comment, and hit the subscribe button. There's also a bell you can hit so that you get notifications every time I come out. But this is basically what it's going to look like without the gun. So All I have to do when I want to switch from my wand to the surface cleaner is just hook it up to that little coupler that's coming off, just like you would with a gun. You know, the guns eventually are going to wear out. So instead of having to replace guns, I don't ever have to worry about that because I've eliminated the gun. So the last thing, guys, always remember to squeeze the trigger, let the pressure off when you want to remove your ball valve or your pressure hose. It's just not going to come off unless you do that. So simple squeeze of the trigger releases the pressure, and then you can pull that off. Well, guys, I hope this has been helpful. I just want to show you a few little tips and tricks about surface cleaners, and also the surface cleaner that I like to use and use most often with our 4-gallon per minute machine. And it's the Whisper Wash Ultra. You can get those at DougRuckerStore.com. And hey, if you have any questions, again, just please make sure you leave a question. Let me know. I'll be glad to help you out. Comment, like, and leave me a subscribe or subscribe to it, and hit that bell so that you get notifications.